Hold on, let me turn that down. It's a little too freaking loud for me. Hello? Is anybody freaking here yet? Or is it just me? Am I lost? Hello? That's okay. I can talk to myself. I can talk to myself quite a bit. Hello, everybody. Today, we're going over a very, very important topic. For me, it's an extremely important topic for me. Flora, hello, welcome in. Sorry, I'm hearing voices. Why am I hearing voices? Hold on. I need to, like, turn this off real quick. Hold on. Oh, I'm just going crazy. Okay, good to know. Hello, welcome everybody. How is y'all's weekend so far? Good, I hope. Hello, welcome in, welcome in. We're going over a very important topic today because I thought it would be very nice to go back to form and do, you know, just like a little classic slideshow. It's been a while since we've had one of those. A little PowerPoint presentation. I'm missing it. I'm missing educating the people. Going well, a bit busy with homework, but everything is going well. Well, I wish you luck on your homework, but I'm glad everything else is going great. Yeah, PowerPoint, baby. A nice slideshow presentation. Ah, thank you. I spent the last week working on it, so I hope you guys enjoy the fruits of my labor. This is something that I was quite passionate about back when I was a little, not when I was a little kid, but when I was a teenager. I used to make adopts quite a bit. We're talking about adopts, or like adoptable designs today. The more whimsical version of NFTs, the precursor, if you will. The one where people were allowed to have fun and just like frick around, you know? Mostly a children's space, I feel. It was all like teenagers and shit, but it's a bygone era that I miss, that I would like to walk through memory lane with you all. I hope you will allow me to lead you through this, to be your tour guide, if you will. Because I feel like this whole thing, like, it's not around anymore, and if it is, it's really hard to find it. So wait, hold. Who here actually knows what an adoptable is before we actually start on anything? I gotta grease the wheels. I gotta grease the wheels here. Who knows what adoptable designs are, or has like an idea of what they are? Or is it just me and my fucking my dementia-riddled boomer brain? Adopt designs, yeah, adoptable designs, or like adoptable characters. Who knows anything about that? Well, I'm getting this set up here. Adopts for short. That's what everybody called them. Because I will be going over it. Nope. Okay, excellent, excellent. So we got some fresh eyes on this. No problem. That's what I'm here for, to educate. We will be discussing what it is. I will be discussing the economy surrounding it, because it is, surprisingly, there's like a weird like stock market about it where it's a little weird. It gets a little weird. I think, or it can be a little weird at least. Oh, why is that there? Move you back over. There you go. There you go, champ. Sorry, I'm just getting stuff set up here. But yeah, that's what I'm here for. We're here to educate. And maybe you have heard of it and you just didn't really know that there was a word for it. But we will yap about it today. I put a lot of work into this slideshow, so I hope you guys really appreciate it. I really gotta make that smaller, actually. Because then you can't see some of my slideshow that I worked so darn hard on. There you go. Nice teeny tiny logo. Okay. We will be yapping about it. Trust and believe. Okay, we got the first burp of the stream. Okay, hold on. I need to move myself just a little bit. Okay, here we go. I hope you guys came with an open mind and questions, because I will be taking those as we go along. We've got 25 fucking slides to go over. It's gonna be great. I'm still wondering if I should. Yeah, first burp of the stream, baby. Yeah. I'm wondering if maybe I should just kind of hang out and chat a little bit more while we wait, because I would like to get more people in here, hopefully. If not, by like the 20-minute mark, then I think I'll just go ahead and start. Okie dog teacher. Yeah. You guys like my glasses, by the way? How do they look? Very spiffy, right? I wore them once before. I don't know, I think it was for my working stream, my co-working stream. They're layering is a little weird on them. Kind of looks like they're behind my eyes instead of being in front. Let me see if I can fix that. Huh? Oh no, I already pinned it to me. Fuck! You look cute, you look more older? Yes, this is my old man look. My pops look, if you will. My papa. That's what I call my grandpa. I call my grandpa Papa. And then I call my grandma Mimi. Because I'm a southerner. To my core. I am a southerner. I feel like... Yeah, Papa. Mimi and Papa. That's what I call them. I feel like I've never heard anybody else but people in the South call them that. Like, I remember when I was a kid, all my friends would call their grandparents, you know, like grandpa or grandma, stuff like that, you know, the usual stuff. And I was like, oh, so that means my Mimi and my Papa aren't related to me for some fucking reason. I just, like, that was my logic in my head, where I was just like, I don't call them grandma and grandpa, so they must not be my grandma and grandpa for some fucking reason. For some strange reason. I just couldn't put two and two together. But no, they are. I just call them something silly. I know that's like a thing in Texas, but I didn't know that, like, I don't know, I just know I didn't really know anybody else growing up that called their grandparents that. It was very interesting to learn. Extremely interesting. I'm trying to think of what else I got going on. Guys, I got a 4-day weekend next week. I don't know what, like, I'm gonna do. I wanted to go camping, but I feel like, everywhere is gonna be fucking packed. But it's been a really long time since I've gone camping, and I used to really like camping, mostly because I get to hang out, I get to drink beer, and I get to fish. And that's all a dog needs, really. It's just some beer. Maybe some cigarettes as a treat. And just some good times on the lake. You know what I mean? Well, anyways, yeah. So, I think my patience has run thin. I wanna get started on this so much. So hold on. Let me take you over to my slideshow that I'm very, very proud of. Let's take a gander at this, shall we? Look see. Transition me. I now have different music on. Can you hear it? Barely. It's very hold on. Maybe can I get this? This? That's a little bit better. Yeah, we'll stick with that for background music. Just a little tiny bit. Think I can figure out what they're talking about? Relax. Yeah! Okay, guys. Welcome to my slideshow that I worked really hard on. Today, we will be talking about, or discussing, the wacky world of adoptables. Yay! Hold on, let me get my cursor on here so you can see it. Oh, you should be able to see my cursor. Let me make it more pronounced. Cursor style. We're gonna make it red. Please? Can I please? Yeah. Dawn. Wait, go back! And make it big so you guys can see it. Oh, that's way too big, actually. This is my pointer. Can you guys see it? Is it being captured? Oh, you can't see it. Okay, cool. Okay, guys, welcome to my presentation, all about the wacky world of adoptables. So today, I will be explaining what these things are, conceptually, and the culture around it, but I'm mostly going to be presenting this through the lens of 2014 to 2017. In my opinion, peak DeviantArt adoptable. Well, maybe like 2012. Also, I would say 2012 is around that. 2012 to 2017. That's like peak adoptable, like DeviantArt boom, right? That was a peak on DeviantArt. That's before like they implemented the new layout, and everything just went to shit. Everything went to shit. Those aren't NFTs. So I did say at the beginning of the stream that these are you can compare them to NFTs because they are basically conceptually the same thing, but like these are better. You're actually like supporting artists by getting adoptables, and then B, there's actually a really nice wholesome community surrounding adoptables and adoptable characters and stuff like that. It's not just like a bunch of fucking NFT, like tech bros trying to tell you that like, oh, invest in an NFT, invest in an adoptable now, and then you will get so much out of it. And the culture is a little bit different than NFTs. Also, I don't know, they're not just fucking ugly for the most part. I do like the cute little bear at the bottom. Which one? We got a lot going on here. I think that might be a bunny, my guy. I don't know. These are a lot of the examples that I'm gonna be talking about. I use my own, and then some I pulled from like my old friends and shit. But yeah, these are gonna be our first examples of adoptables. These are adoptables that I made way back in the day. Very nice, very nice. So yeah, presented by Dr. Professor Dogmeats. Based bear appreciator, even if it isn't. I don't know. With a lot of these, it's up to interpretation, and it's really cool. I don't know. You guys will see. I feel like the more I explain it, the more you'll see how much more like community driven and cool and fun this is compared to actual like NFTs. So let's freaking get into it, shall we, gamers? So here are my accreditations. I have had skin in the game of online design trading since 2014. That's when I first started getting into adopts. So when I first started getting into it, I was around some friends, and they were like, you should really start getting into adopts. They're very fun. People really like buying them, and I think you would like it, because I really like designing characters. I still do. I still really like character design, and that's kind of like the lens, like how I approached it, because I don't know, I just really like character illustration and design, and that was kind of something that I really, really wanted to be as a kid. So yeah, we were yeeting on them for real, for real. That's right, yeeting. Why that dog telling the other to piss? It says PLS, please. You wouldn't understand. You wouldn't get it. Okay. So yeah, this is the first set of adoptables that I have made. Actually not that bad for my first set. I could have I could have presented them a little bit better, but back then simplicity was key. But nowadays you really gotta fucking market that shit. But yeah, I am considered to be a veteran. I am a war veteran. I have a purple heart. I have at least 100 super llamas on deviantart.com. I was a premium membership owner on DeviantArt for 2 years straight. Yeah. But yeah, I left DeviantArt permanently once they forced Eclipse on everybody, and Eclipse was the brand new layout that they did, that they rolled out to compete with art sites like ArtStation and shit. Stupid. It was the dumbest fucking thing ever. They took out my fucking whimsy. They took out all the whimsy out of my goddamn website, man. Let's see. Can I wait? Hold on. There we go. Simple or not, they're quite nice. Also, I hope you get your government benefits for your service. Thank you very much. I've been fighting to get them. I'm getting at least 30% from DeviantArt staff, but I am working towards that 100%. Thank you very much. From the DA. But yeah, this is my first set of adopts. I wanted to go with it. I like doing themes, so my theme was mythical creatures. So I did jackalopes at Einfelds. I don't even remember what an Einfeld is. It's like a fucking wolf with chicken legs, I guess, in the front, and then cockatrices. And then these are my first adopts. These are the first adopts. I think this one was my very first adopt that I ever purchased, and then this is my second one. So this one, his name is Roddy. I named him Roddy because, I don't know, he looked like a Roddy. I wish I had the original art of him, but I can't find it anywhere. Hold on, let me see it. Let me double check one more time, but I don't think I have it anymore. Stash. And if you were around back then, I'm sure you'll recognize some of the designs that I use. Because I pulled them from all the ones that I bought and or traded and stuff. No, I don't have the original picture. Fuck! That actually makes me so upset. Checkered tile belt, of course. Yeah, okay, but yeah, this is Roddy. He was originally designed by my friend John, also known as Hemo Puchoy or Artsy Cannibal back in the day. I have a lot of his designs, so you'll see mostly his designs because I really liked buying them. Because a lot of this is just like friend groups who really like drawing and like designing characters, so they'll just like go around and trade them with each other. It's like a bunch of friends with like trading cards. And then this is Turpentine by another one of my friends, Cryptid Road. Back then, I don't really talk to any of these people anymore, unfortunately. I wish I could though. It's hard to get in touch with some of these people nowadays. But yeah, those are my first two adopts. I made them brother and sister. They're really cute. I love them. So next, so what? Hold on. What is an adoptable? I'm so glad you asked. So, in the simplest definition, adoptables are pre-made character designs that are bartered online. People will buy, sell, and trade them like you would with any other kind of collectible. The reverb. But yeah, you can use them for stories, you can make art of them, or you can just collect them. Some people just really like collecting them. There are a lot of people that have very, very, like, the size of their collections is alarming to me. Like, they will have, I've seen people with like over 100 of these fucking things. It's so cool. But yeah, they've been around. I did a little bit of research. They have been around since the late 90s. On art forums and fan sites, not just DeviantArt. I believe the first first couple of accounts of adopts online are from like a dragon fan site, or like furry fan sites, of course. That's like the core audience of a lot of these adults. Can't read that bottom text as anything other than nipply. Oh yeah, that's sorry. A lot of cringe. I was 15 there. But yeah, they've been around since the 90s. They gained popularity on DeviantArt and Furfinity, and also Amino, but we don't talk about that. I was never on Amino, but I heard it was pretty bad. Like, those were the trenches. 90s? Dang, I'm not well versed in this, but I really thought it was all newish. No, yeah, they've been along for quite a really long time. I feel like they kind of influenced things like Neopets or like Webkins, because when you think about it, it's kind of the same concept, just with like a material good attached onto it. Yeah, this is how teenagers talked on DeviantArt back in the day. Like, it was real bad. It was real bad. Nobody was literate. Nobody knew what the fuck anybody was saying. Yeah. Everything I've ever heard about Amino makes it sound like hell. Yeah, I've heard that it was truly the trenches, but I do know that the adoptable scene was pretty alive and well on there. But yeah, but they spawned websites that are dedicated to organizing characters. So the big one obviously is going to be Toy House. If you've never heard about Toy House, it's pretty much like a compendium where you can go in there and you make like little libraries for your characters. It's a really cool website. It has like HTML features. You can really customize the shit out of all of your files. It's pretty cool. There are a couple of other websites that had the same idea, but unfortunately they never like had, I don't know, they weren't able to continue. A lot of those websites had to get shut down. Like, one of them that I used was CharaHub. I used CharaHub for just like a little bit. I don't even know if, I think it got shut down. I swear. CharaHub. Yeah, CharaHub is down. It's been down, but it's another like, or Character Hub. Character Hub is still online. That's crazy. But yeah, there are sites that are dedicated to being able to organize and kind of just post your characters. A lot of it, for sure, is from like making your own characters and designing your own characters, but it spawned from like the advent of adoptables. Like, people had all of these fucking characters and they didn't know what to do with them. It was crazy. So they made these websites just for that, and then they're still alive and well and like trading and buying and like selling and shit. So yeah. Wow. Hold on, I can't read that. Undead Shogun has subscribed. Thank you for subscribing on YouTube, Undead Shogun. Welcome. We're talking about adoptables. But yeah, that's basically the idea. It's a character design that you can trade, buy, or sell. I like to compare it to trading cards, because that's basically what it was. It's still alive, but that's, yeah. So, the big question, why would you ever spend money on this? Well, I ask you, why would you ever fucking spend hundreds and thousands of dollars on pieces of cardboard known as trading card games? Or, alternatively, rocks. Like fucking gems? People collect that shit. Or like little statuettes, even. Like, come on now. It's a collectible hobby. Resale. Well, I'll get into that later. Don't you worry. I will get into that later. But it's a collectible hobby, pretty much. It's fun, because I don't have financial responsibility. Tyler's back, baby. Let's fucking go. just cooler than trading cards in my opinion, because it's someone's hard work. Thank you. It's somebody like putting a very unique design to you. But yeah, it's like comics, figurines, shit like that. That's what it is. And there's real value. There's like a real fucking economy around this. And don't worry, I will get to that. But the reason you would get into this, one, it's fun. There's a whole community around it. So what's going on here? What am I looking at? Oh, you did miss the beginning of this. So we are talking about DeviantArt adoptables from the lens of 2014 to 2017 when I was on DeviantArt. And pretty much just explaining what it is and why you would ever get into it. Shit like that. Why is Eddie so pissed off? Because that's his character. Don't freaking worry about it. But yeah, one, it's fun. There's a whole community around it. I made so many friends being involved in making adopts. Adoptables seem so overwhelming, but I'm happy to learn this. Oh yeah, that's what I'm here for, man. That's what I'm here for. Hold on, I need a drink of water. Yeah, it was a whole community. It was a really good way to make friends with people. I feel like it was mostly like an artist first community. There was a lot of fun like events you could participate in. There are things like offer to adopt, draw to adopt. Like you would draw a character, and then if you like whoever's holding the adoption, and I'll go over all that stuff, but it was a lot of fun. There's a lot of like community camaraderie. People really like certain artists. It was really fun. May have started a war in my friend group, Retro. It's fresh. So I put down it's fresh because it's a really like specific type of collection hobby. Like I said, the closest like modern equivalent I can think of is like NFTs. But the thing about NFTs is it's lazy. And I'm not saying that like adopts also can't be lazy, but a lot of it is like purely like somebody designed this character, you have it, and then it's like this weird like community and rules about it. It's crazy. It's very fun. It's really fresh because you can get like it's weird. There's like some politics around it too. Like there's like artist B who's really known for doing like so and so kind of adopts. Like they do a lot of like deity adopts, a lot of like cute little sparkle dogs, shit like that. Or like you can get like the hardcore like gore adopts, shit like that. It was a lot of like aesthetics. And it was really nice to get a little bit of notoriety. Yeah, politics. There's politics. I will also get into that. And then back in the day, it was free. I don't know how free, like, it kind of is nowadays. But if we're talking about specifically DeviantArt, and I will be talking mostly about just on DeviantArt, because I feel like it was hard to get this type of, like, I don't know, transactionalism. Gore adopts is a devilish pair of words. I can show you. I have a couple of them. It was just like adopts that have like some elements of like gore to them. One of my adopts that I got from my friend John, I love her. She has a really pretty design, but she does have like her guts spilling out. Plus, they also shouldn't cost a disgusting amount of money too, like an NFT does, I'd assume. Well, we'll get to that. We'll also get to that. So you hoarding adopts like Bitcoin. So you can if you want, but I feel like the attitude towards an adopt versus a Bitcoin is a little different. Like, I don't think you're gonna get attached to like a single Bitcoin and then make that your personality for like 3 months. Why a lot of people like adopts is because of the personality. Like, they'll fall in love with that design. They'll assign like personalities, stories, and shit like that, and it's really cool. That's what they like about that. And the best part is the original creator can sit there and be like, wow, my adopt has gone so fucking far. I'm so proud. It's like watching your kid grow up. Like, when I was doing the research for this, for some of the adopts that I've made, I was like, oh my god, they're still using it! It's been 10 years and they're still using it! I was like getting crazy. Thank you for the head pats. I was so happy. Like, there's no other word to describe, like, there's no other way to describe it than, like, a parent watching their kid go to college. Yeah, pretty girls always have their gut issues. That's so true. Tummy hurt. Yeah, it was great. It's great. It's the attachment. It's the watching your adopts go places. It's awesome. And then, yeah, like I said, back in the day, to a certain point, it was free. Like, the most you would probably have to do... Oh, sorry, you can't really get that tail pat in there. Hold on. The most that you would have to do is maybe draw for other people. But, like, when you're a teenager and you're just drawing all day anyway, like, you might as well do that. I'm gonna say back in the day a lot, because I haven't been on DeviantArt since 2019, so I don't know the current climate on that website, but the thing about that is, because I can't really think of another community or another website that had premium currency like DeviantArt did. So the reason why adopts got so big is because there was premium currency. Thank you for all the pats. Oh my god. Yeah, just yeah, there's premium currency on DeviantArt. So if you're a little kid, you don't have access to your parents' credit card, depending on who you are. If you don't have, like, access to your parents' credit cards, or... If you don't have access to your parents' credit cards or, like, a PayPal account, the DeviantArt in-game currency, it was crazy. I remember spending real fucking money on that shit. But yeah, they do have their own, like, premium currency that you can trade. So it was, I guess it's kind of like Warframe, because you don't necessarily need to trade real money for the premium currency. You can get the premium currency by doing commissions. So how I got into it is I would just get points from other people who had already paid for the premium currency. And then I would say, like, I can only do commissions in points. So I would be able to get that currency for the low price of labor. Warframe mentioned hashtag play Warframe. Yeah. I do have a little different subject question. The YouTube live will still be on the channel, right? Sadly, my break is over. I'd love to be able to watch the rest of the lesson later. Yeah, it'll be archived on YouTube, so don't you worry. Don't you worry. Don't you worry. But yeah, that's kind of how I got into it, is because I didn't have access to, like, a PayPal or anything, but I still wanted to do commissions, and I knew there was a way I could monetize it, and I was like, well, shit, I can just charge people for DeviantArt points, and then I would have DeviantArt points, because the thing with that is, it was an... I will get into it. Hold on, I have slides for this. But yeah, basically, you could just use DeviantArt points. You didn't even need to touch real money, because other people had already done that for you. It's great. If you don't have access to your parents' credit card, bold of you assume I wasn't the tech sorcerer of the family. Yeah, thanks for stopping on by, eating on them. But yeah, it's, let's see. Social media, huh? We have 25 slides of this, dude. We got 25 slides. But yeah, no, that's what I'm saying is, like, some kids did have access to their parents' credit cards. Like, their parents would buy them that currency, and that's why there was, like, an actual market for this kind of shit. So, next slide. Also, let's just go over these adopts real quick. Actually, before we go to the next slide, I would like to talk about them. I would like to talk about them. So yeah, as you can see, this is Eddie. This is my boy Eddie. He's a unicorn dog. It wasn't a real species, but a lot of people made unicorn dogs. It's literally just a dog with a unicorn horn, and I really loved him. And my friend also had a design that was a unicorn dog, so I was like, oh my god, we can both have unicorn dogs! But this is him when I originally got him. This was his original design. He actually had garters. I didn't even realize that. But yeah, this is him. This is when I first adopted him. I got him from my friend. Fuck. I think this was from my friend Zach. Pretty sure that's Zach's design. Let me double check it. I need to know who to credit these. You defurried him. A lot of my original adopts, I will say, have been defurried. They have been defurried. They're all now anime boys and girls and they thems. Hold on. Let me check my stash. I'm gonna have to keep my stash up for the rest of the stream so I can double check. Because that's where I have a lot of that. Because before, like, Toy House and shit, people would store all of their characters in their DeviantArt stashes, which is just DeviantArt's online storage site, I guess. Kind of like Mediafire. Eddie, where is Eddie? Omi, I also got from the same guy, so... I don't credit it. Oh, Eddie's in my fucking primary, that's why. Sorry, hold on. Back. Mains. Eddie. A lot of the original posts are also, like, taken down, so I can't find, like, a lot of these sources. I feel bad that I understand it, but I don't get it. It's okay! That's why we have 25 slides of this, so you can understand it. I'm teaching. This is the point of the stream. We're talking about it. We're educating. Yeah, this is by my friend Zach. I bought 2 of his designs out of this batch. And he turned into Eddie, and I still use Eddie to this day. This is his reference sheet that I updated just last year. Oh, thank you for the hydrate. I will destroy your mind with funny little creatures. But yeah, I still use Eddie to this day. Really, I just bought him because I really liked his color palette. And then, like I said before, one of my other friends also had a unicorn dog. And I was like, we can have unicorn dogs together! And the thing with like, the fun thing about adopts is, like, again, back to it's fresh. A lot of these designs, you would never even think of yourself. So you kind of have a little bit of somebody else's mind, and then, yeah, you have it. It's just a little thing. It's a little guy. Really sorry for being late. I've been looking forward to this. Really? Oh, you know what? Sorry, aside, Booster, I think, who is that? Because I know somebody in your Discord has messaged me about adopts before, and I think they would also really enjoy this stream. Ow, wow, wow. Ow, wow. What is that? Oh, Tyler, fucking, thank you for following on Twitch. Took you long enough. Fuck. I forget their name. Goonie. I think Goonie would appreciate this stream also. Perhaps they'll find the VOD. That's actually kind of what spurred this on. I remember a conversation I had with one of Booster's viewers, and I was like, maybe I should talk about adopts. Hold on, now I gotta fucking fix this shit. Okay, there we go. But yeah, that's Eddie. I still use him to this day. I love him. I'm talking about a viewer from Necro News, Goonie. I do not get why you're adopting it. Why not just, like, see it and then, like, use it? Because, there are extreme social repercussions to doing that. There were social repercussions to doing that. People, if you were in the community and you were going around saying, like, actually, this is my design, you would... Yes, there were. I remember, like, there being a huge fucking deal about that. Like, if you saw an adopt that you really liked, like, it's kind of hard to defend yourself if you incidentally had a character come out that looked just like it. It's like screenshotting an NFT. Kind of. But the thing about that is somebody actually put effort into making that design. So it's kind of like, I guess, kind of think about it like this. Imagine if somebody looked at Rick from Rick and Morty and was like, I like that character design, it's my character now. And then just completely acted like it wasn't Rick from Rick and Morty. I know, like, on a scale, like, on such a small scale as, like, trading and selling designs, it seems like there wouldn't be that many, like, repercussions to that because, like, oh, you're just some fucking artist. That's, like, Justin Roiland and fucking Dan Harmon's Mind Baby. Like, obviously you can't get away with that, but, like, if you were into the adopt scene, everybody fucking knew. Everybody fucking knew. Everybody knew each other. They're, like, big names. It was kind of crazy. It was its own little, like, social community. It was really crazy. Where did the where did the glasses come from? I put them on for the stream. Mind Baby D's. Mind Baby D's nuts. But yeah, no, like, you would get called out immediately. Like, somebody would be like, that's where a lot of the drama comes from on, like, DeviantArt stuff, is somebody being like, hey, I saw you made an adoptable right after I posted this adoptable that's literally just the same fucking design. All of them are furries, not necessarily all of them are furries, but it is deeply rooted in the furry community. But anyways, this is another one of my designs, or adopts. I didn't make this design. This was made by, I believe Crow made this. My friend Crow. I think that was Clyde. Let me double check. But that's my fella, Kobe. I named him Kobe after the beef. Secondary Kobe. I didn't attribute it. Fuck. Hold on. I have to check my fucking account. Making friends with crows. Yeah, dude. That was one of my best friends. Mine. I have to fucking scroll all the way down to when I first bought him. And like I said before, Booster, about your question, like, why would you buy it instead of just, like, rip it? I was talking about it a little bit before you came in, but there's premium currency on DeviantArt that people actually gave value to. You didn't have to buy it yourself. You could just get it from other people by selling adoptables and commissions. So, in a sense, it was free. Like, it was completely optional to put real money into this. I just did it because I really liked it. This was my hobby. Where the fuck is Kobe? Damn, when did I buy this motherfucker? Hold on. I swan to gone. Did I just, like, never draw him or what? Fuck, I must not have. No. Oh, no. This is before I bought him. Hello, Kobe. Hello, Kobe. Damn! It took me a while until I bought him. Pretty sure it was my friend Clyde, though. AKA Crow. Skeleton Crows. Yeah, fuck me. I guess I just never drew him. The hell? I feel bad now. Watch it be that you didn't actually buy him. No, I did buy him because I actually have, like, receipts. I have receipts of all of these. No, but that's definitely Crow, I believe, made that design. That makes sense now. So within the adopt, yeah. So like I said, a lot of people when they were trading this, it was mostly on DeviantArt, and you could just trade with that. You can barter with that currency. Where is he? I want to see him. He's right here. What are you talking about? Yeah, no. That's fucking nutso. But I do remember buying him. I'm pretty sure Crow, my friend Clyde, designed him. A lot of these adopts are adopts that I bought off of friends. because like I said before, it was mostly just like friend groups, like tossing each other money and it going in a circle. Extremely interesting. Okay, yeah, whatever. I'm pretty sure it was Clyde. But anyways, there was a symptom of civilization in Deviant Art. Yeah, there was! It was like its own fucking community. It was crazy. But anyways, yeah, that's Kobe. I still use him today. He's a major character in like my original story. I love him with all my heart and soul. He's my favorite little fratricidal little guy. He's great. He is one of many little meow meows that I have. In fact, if we want to, probably if we have time after the actual presentation, I will go through my DeviantArt stash with you guys. But anyways, next. So we do have there are a couple of different variants to adoptables. So sorry, I just realized the clip in here. I keep hitting the wrong hotkey. Stop. That's fine. It is a really good GIF. But anyways, yeah, there's different variants for adopts just to keep things fresh and cool and fun. Trade of goods checked. We're just missing oversupply. Oh, baby. We're missing oversupply, centralized government, and writing, though I'm not sure that applies to an art site. Central government is... There were micro communities within the adopt community, so I could probably like really briefly go over them after. Well, we can do it in adopt variants because I also don't have it listed in here. But there are a couple of different ways that you would go about selling or buying adopts. So central, yeah. Adoptables are the original NFT and also more fun and more fly and more fresh than NFTs. There could be a central government to them. It depends on the circle that you're in. So let me go over these real quick. So one of the variants that you would come across is so there's like gotcha or surprise adopts. So I just use like a pretty basic picture of like a gachapon, but essentially what these were is they would be like a little egg or like a gotcha, and they would draw it up to kind of make it look to fit a theme, and then whoever bought that gotcha ball or egg would get a surprise adopt. They wouldn't know what it looked like, but it would match that theme that the egg was drawn as. So let me see if I can get a new, let's see, gotcha adoptables, not gotcha life, you motherfucker. Let's do surprise. So it'd be like this, yeah. Oh man, we're on Fur Affinity now. It'd be kind of like these. Like you would see there is a theme to them, and then you would purchase one, and then you'd be surprised with the result. It's kind of like Digimon, yeah. My sister used to do these. They're so fun. They were so fun. The hell is it like to have a father? But yeah, those are the surprise ones. When is the dog gotcha adoptable? Do you guys want to do like a live adoptable? we'll do a live adoptable auction. I'd buy an adoptable gotcha dog adoptable. 10 channel points away. Yeah, we can do like we'll do like a live auction. Where you guys auction off your channel points or like dog bucks or some shit. It'll be great. Next one that I never really got into were clothes adopts. These are the ones that I think are kind of stupid, but don't let anybody else tell you. Don't let anybody else know that. Clothing adopts I always thought were fucking stupid. but I know that there's a market for them. These are the ones where I was like, it's just clothes. I can simply just draw that on my fucking character. Because, like, I feel like characters, you can't really get away with that. Clothes, absolutely. I will speak my opinion. This is pure opinion, not fact. This portion of the stream, that is simply an outfit. I'm not gonna pay you money to dress my fucking OC up in that. I can simply do something similar to that. But anyways, it's still like a very, like, people like doing clothing adopts. And I guess a positive way to spin it is kind of like a your character here. Kind of like that. We steal clothes all the time when we look for inspiration. That's what I'm freaking saying. It's a little harder, or a little easier to get away with stealing a clothing design than it is with a character design, I feel like. There's less aspects that are, like, glaring. Like, I don't know. But anyways, yeah, you can, it's essentially the same thing as a character adopt, you just buy clothes. Your dress is protected. So true, so true. And then we also had customs. I also dabbled in customs. I really like doing those. So customs are, somebody would pay you because they really like your portfolio of character designs and they want a character design from you. And with this, they would usually pay you like a premium for, because it's a custom order. And they would kind of give you a vibe. It is a commission, yeah. They would give you a vibe for what they're looking for, but never like a full-on like description. A lot of the allure of character design adopts was the fact that it was designed by that specific person. So that's why it's really hard to get away with stealing an adopt design, because if you look at say like, you'll notice it with my friend John's adopts. I have a lot of them because I really liked his character designs. I fucking love them. And I'm never gonna fucking give them up. Ever! But you will be able to see that there are like certain themes and styles to those character designs. So that's why you would go out of your way to get a custom. I actually have a custom for my friend John. Shit, I just remembered. But yeah, you would basically give them like a general like feel that you want from the character, but 90% of it would be from the artist's interpretation, and that's what people really liked about that. So, and then back to the like centralized government stuff. So there was
Tyler has achieved his final form. He has all the channel points. You cannot stop him.
Really interested in the presentation, but homework is hitting me with a middle bar. Sorry. Oh no, that's quite all right. You can watch the VOD back later. Thanks so much for hanging out, though. Oh god. Okay, hold on. Feel like we're ever so slowly spiraling downwards. It gets worse. Anyways, back to the centralized government of DeviantArt. So, with adopts came a really weird subsect called, and I'm sure some people might already know about this because I know there's been like controversies around this. You get this subsect called original species. And with original species, there are actual rule sets and shit. So I didn't make a slide for explaining this, but essentially what an original species... Alex is already saying, oh no. Yeah. So, essentially what an original species is, I mean, that's kind of in the name. It's an original species that somebody would come up with. You kind of get into murky waters with this because there are some things that are really, really, like, really cool, very inventive, very unique, and then there are other things like, I don't fucking know. This is a dog that has a cinnamon bun for a tail, and it's a closed species. So with original species, you would get closed species and open species. Open species means that anybody is able to make a character using that species as a base. And just kind of like a free-for-all. Then you get into the closed species. Closed species is, I would say, is like a club where you need to pay membership to get in. So with closed species, it's the same concept as the open species, where it's somebody's like unique species design, except you need to buy into it, basically. So you can either buy into it by purchasing and adopt, like a pre-made design, or you would pay for like a custom, and that's, or like a custom, or what is it called? Like a ticket that lets you make your own design. And with those, it can get really crazy and really like convoluted, but there were typically like rules to them. So there would be like a lower, it's so weird. There'd be like lower classes, and usually the lower class species would have like less details to them, pretty much, and they would be cheaper. And then there would be more tiers above that. They would be more, they would have more details, have different attributes to them, and they would be more expensive, and they would be more rare. And that's how they would control kind of the rarity and pricing of those adopts. License, yeah. You would need a license. I have a couple of them that I never actually like cashed in. Is there classism in the original species? Oh, fucking buddy. Yes, there is. There's a lot of online bullying about it. Somebody would be like, oh, I'm sorry, you don't have like you don't have an ultra rare water dog. You're not allowed to tell me what to fucking do. Water dogs is actually a really good way to describe it. Hold on, let me look up water dogs for you so you can see what I'm talking about. Not the Philadelphia water dogs. Deviant Art. Water dogs was an original species. I don't think they're Water Dog World. They have a fucking website. But yeah, kind of. I guess this is a good way to explain it. But it's a species, and then they would have like different rarities and shit. Info, species rules. They would have rules, co-owning, shit like that. It's crazy. There's plenty of them. I'm not the best person to ask about it because I never really dipped my toes too far into it. I wanted to, but I was just like, this is insane. Most of my experience with closed species came from like being friends with people that had some closed species. But it's still like crazy. It's a lot. MYO, make your own. That's what they're called. Make your own ticket. A license, pretty much. And with those, there is a centralized government. There would be the admins of, like, basically the original creator's friends, like friend group, and then the original creator has total say over everything. There's so much lore. Yeah, it's crazy, dude. That's why I like talking about this, because it was A, kind of stupid in retrospect, but B, it's fucking crazy. So, like, let me see. I wonder if it's still up. Jello Bubs, Deviant Art. Not Jello Buns, man. I guess they're not around any. Oh, well, I didn't want to see any of that. Were there burrows in DeviantArt? Yes, there were. So I'll explain it more later, but they were basically things called groups on DeviantArt, and they were their own like little communities, and they had their own little separate pages that kind of worked like user pages, but for like a whole community. That's a subject for another stream right there. I know, yeah, closed species gets crazy. I could like talk on and on about it, but that was another subsect of adoptables. That did have like really weird regulation and government to it, and it was very political. Like water dogs, I feel like was the biggest ones aside from fucking, hold on. We get to the fall of the community. There's not really a fall. It's still like really like alive and well, obviously, since there's a water dog website, but I think a lot of the core audience just kind of like grew up and realized there are better things to spend money on. But a lot of this I feel like is teenagers, just this is their hobby. That's how I was. But yeah, so there's all that shit. Next. So, enough fluff. Let's talk about economics. Do I have a pog stuck on my head? Oh, it's got okay. Yeah, enough fluff. Let's talk fucking economics, baby. Hold on. Woo! This is like so not cropped the way I want it to be. I think that's
It is now time for capitalism.
It is time for capitalism. Capitalism ho! Okay, let's talk about economics of adoptables, because I know not a whole lot of people think about it, but I think about it constantly. Fuck. Sorry, I skipped this. So, as I discussed before, how do you price these fucking things? So we will discuss currency. Yay! So, because adopts are a very nebulous concept, their value is given to them via the audience, really. The consumer is always right. So it's a little hard to give them value, especially when you're first starting out. So I will try my best to explain how pricings can work, and you'll just see how volatile the fucking market is. So, like I was saying before, DeviantArt actually had its own premium currency called points. We will call them DAP. I'll also refer to them as points because that's usually how people talked about them. But yeah, DAP is DeviantArt points. This is, like I said before, premium currency that you can exchange via real money. The exchange rate was and still is, because I looked it up. There's still points on DeviantArt for some fucking reason. I don't know why. But 80 DAP is 1 USD. So you can convert that into whatever currency you're familiar with, and you will get the conversion rate for DAP. So the thing with this is, why would you ever buy into this? Well, let me tell you what. Premium memberships. Because they had this really awesome thing. They don't do it anymore. 1 DAP is 1 ruble, pretty much convenient. Oh, that is pretty convenient. But yeah, they have this really cool thing that you can't really do anymore, where you can purchase premium memberships with DeviantArt points. They don't do that anymore because it's not profitable, because they realize they lose money doing it that way. There we go. I don't know what the hell happened to my slideshow on stream, sorry. It's getting cut off, man. There we go. Like World of Warcraft did for a bit. Yeah! Goat Seaman, don't worry about that. That was my friend's account. I had to get it off of Wayback Machine. So yeah, you could exchange premium membership, or use premium currency to get premium memberships. And the best thing about a premium membership is that you get HTML profile customization. Now, I feel like that is a really silly thing to like work and slave over to get, but it was a fucking social badge, dude. People knew if you were a member or not because of this funny little star right next to your name. And I believe they had different stars depending on your membership status. So if you were a monthly premium member, you would have a solid star. Like, hold on, let me see if I can get one in here real quick. It's weird. They literally had social badges. It's a little dystopian when you really think about it. Insert. Hello. Oh, I'm sorry. Hold on. Star, HTML, symbol. I'm guessing they didn't like non-members. You could be a non-member and still be cool, but like, people really, really thought you were cool if you had premium membership. Because you could customize your profile. Not everybody can fucking do that with HTML. You had these funky... you could have these funky little like backgrounds for your little areas here. You can make little boxes. It was really cool. This is what a non-core shit. So this is what a non-core profile looked like back in the day. Cool Kids Club, pretty much. You could do quite a bit. DeviantArt was pretty generous with it, but it looked like everybody else's account, pretty much. With a premium membership, you could personalize the fuck out of your account. You can't do this anymore, really, to the same extent that it was before with premium memberships that I've seen. They'll really just like slap a skin on for you, and the new layout is fucking atrocious anyway, so like, whatever. But yeah, it was great, and you had access to different widgets that you can put on, so you could put visitors, the HTML box, shit like that. Sorry, I need to check on something real quick. It was awesome, man. And when I had it, I went fucking bananas. Bananas. But yeah, they had literal fucking... They changed it when they changed the premium memberships to core membership. But this is what the original stars look like. So if you had a solid star like this, you were on a monthly... So if you had a solid star like this, you had a monthly membership. But if you had a hollow star like this, you had... I think it was either like a 3-month or a 6-month membership. So how did Adoptables get into this exactly? I don't really get into that. But I'm assuming it just kind of followed over. Because I briefly went over a history of Adoptables. They were on the internet since the late 90s. They originated from art forums and fan sites. And when DeviantArt came out, obviously, DeviantArt became the hub for artists. So naturally, they would jump over to there. And I believe this is completely conjecture from me. I think it got so big and like as much of like a thing as it was on DeviantArt because they had premium currency. It was like the perfect mix of different things that they had to offer on DeviantArt. So because you have premium memberships that you can buy with premium currency, I think like back then you could only buy with premium currency, something like that. I don't fucking know. There are some artists on DeviantArt that would only do commissions with premium currency. So if you wanted to commission them, you would have to buy the premium currency, or you buy the premium currency and then you use that to buy memberships. So it was like it's the perfect fucking like mix of success. Do you think that Adoptables are essentially dead now? The community that they had on DeviantArt, I think so. But I also haven't been on DeviantArt in forever. But I know there's still very much like a community around Adoptables. People still purchase Adoptables. People still barter with them. Because places like Toy House still exist. And Toy House is like the closest that you'll ever get to like the original DeviantArt Adopt experience, I think. But it's still like a very much like maybe not thriving, but it's still alive. But yeah, these memberships were social currency for you. So if you had that star next to your name, people would know what the fuck is up with your with your profile. They would know. They would click on and see those fucking HTML boxes. It was great. So, along with that, so these were the prices for classic membership. So notice how the pricing is not rounded. Do I have it? No, I don't have it. Oh, no, I do. Okay, yeah. So we'll come back to that. So notice how pricing isn't rounded. So people who would buy membership using points, you would have leftover, especially if you like bought more and more time on your membership. So there was an incentive to actually use the points to purchase goods from other artists. Because of the ease of access of it too, a lot of artists would, like I said before, they would just exclusively do commissions using points. And it was so easy to use it too. Because the thing back then on DeviantArt is if you wanted to do commissions, you could either do it using points or using PayPal. Because I believe when you had points, when you had a certain amount of points, you could pay out into real money. I tried doing it. I never could. Because you would have to, it's kind of like Twitch payouts. Like you have to hit a certain threshold before you can actually pay it out into an account. And also a lot of really good artists on there were minors. So they didn't have access, some of them didn't have access to a PayPal or like a bank account. So you're better off just using DeviantArt points, you know? But yeah, with that, people would have points left over, so they were like, fuck it, let's just use them to pay each other in like as an actual currency. So yeah, if you notice here, when you go in to buy the points, they're all rounded. So you can buy them either like $5, $400, so whatever, it's all rounded. When you go to buy the membership, it's not rounded, so you'll have stuff left over. So you might as well, you know, use it to buy commissions or adoptables. You know how it is. You feel me. You know how it is. So, people would also give away points. Some people would just give points away as prizes for certain things. Like, they would do these things called Kiri bands, or like if they would hit benchmark followers, or watchers, they're called watchers on there. People would just do like point giveaways. It's crazy. Or like if they did contests and stuff. Because it was easy. Because the thing, I got lost on my tangent. So the thing with like commissions and stuff is you would either use PayPal or you would use points. Points, everything is done on site. You don't have to go off site or anything like that. You don't have to trouble with PMing them your like other people your email address or any kind of like identifying information. That was another thing that people really didn't like about it, is back then with PayPal, there was no way to hide your real name. And some people, you know, understand that you should have some air of anonymity as a minor online. So it was just easier to use points rather than real like money. There's still no way. It was a real thriving market. I preferred to use points rather than real money. You know? Hello, Kiloa. I'm dribbling. I gotta wish PayPal ceased to exist, if only. But anyways, yeah, it was easier. It was more of an incentive to use points rather than actual money. Next. So, let's say you're holding your first adoption. This is your batch. So just like in real life, you want to lowball it first. If you're dealing, so let's say dribbling, I didn't know you were playing basketball. Yeah, that's me. So you want to lowball it first, obviously, especially if you're not known. So let's say we're dealing exclusively in points, DeviantArt points to be specific. So you want to start under the $80 or 80 point thing, mostly because it's more accessible to people who are just getting into you, and they're more likely to sell if it's under $1, right? Wow. Wait, 33 people. Holy shit. Isu. Isu, Thank you so much for the raid. Oh my god. I'm panicking. Isu, thank you for the raid. Hi, raiders. Hi, everybody. Oh, Matoshiro, thank you for following. Quick sense again. I panic because it's a lot of people. That's a lot of people. That's more people than I've ever seen. No, 34 people. Oh, okay. Okay. Is that Karane follower sound? No, that's me. So that follower sound is me going ow wow. Cause I'm a dog and I go ow wow. Anyways, real quick recap. So, hello raiders, hello everybody. My name is Dog Meat, and I'm a dog that's made out of meat. You've caught me right in the middle of my TED Talk, where I am breaking it down for everybody. We're talking about Deviant Art adoptables, because I was deep in the trenches when I was a teenager on Deviant Art, and I am explaining do you hate cats? No, I love cats. I have two, and also Isu's my friend. But yeah, we are Claus, thank you for the follow. Fuck, I lost my train of thought. Yeah, we're talking about DeviantArt adopts. I'm talking about their value, the market, the stock market and economy that surrounded adopts, still does surround adopts, but how like crazy it was back in like the mid 2010s. We're talking about your adoptables. Technology, entertainment, dog meat, TED Talk, thank you. Dog talk, exactly. That's exactly that, how they work and stuff. Yeah, so if you're unfamiliar with adoptables, they are pretty much like the precursor of NFTs, I guess is like the best like way to describe it. I hate saying it like that, but that's essentially what it was. They're NFTs but better because they are completely like artist made. They only what's the word? They finance the artist only, whoever made that design, and I think they're a lot more fun because it's not like you're just hoarding a fucking icon. You're hoarding a character that you can assign lore to and love, and like it's great. I love them. We just got done talking about DeviantArt's premium currency and pretty much what made it more desirable to buy and sell and trade adopts on DeviantArt rather than other websites because of ease of access. I feel like comparing the NFTs, so downgrading for the adoptable. Thank you very much. I feel the exact same way. That is my like succinct feelings on that. I think adoptables are so much better than NFTs, but I feel like that's the only way that you can get like a normie to understand what they are. There's just more of a community around them than anything. Like, it's not just motherfuckers who are trying to invest in, like, a different sort of stock market. Like, there are still value to these, like, I hate to say it, like, to do, like, a woman moment, but, like, there's sentimentality to it. Especially because they are, like, it's really weird. They assign value based on, like, the artist that made them, how rare they are. They're much more secure for miners too because of the premium currency that DeviantArt precisely. Like DeviantArt, I don't know what the fuck they were on that they were like, let's do a premium currency for our fucking website. Yeah, what if we made the stock market just for criminals? But yeah, no, DeviantArt, like it was so desirable to do adoptables on DeviantArt because of the premium currency. So it's much more secure for miners. You don't actually have to, like, if you don't want to, you don't have to put real money into it. You really just have to sell adoptables or do commissions. It's great. Yeah. It's great. It was awesome. But yeah, we just caught up on that. Now we're explaining the economy of adoptables and how you should start if you would like to get into it. At least how you would start if you were on DeviantArt, because everything is going to be based around the idea of you using DeviantArt points. because I'm trying to get you guys in my shoes of when I was a 15-year-old on DeviantArt. I forgot I was a flea for a second. You're all my fleas. You're all my flea bags. I need you guys to get into my twisted freaking mind. Okay? Just for a minute. So, I was explaining how you would price your first batch of adoptables for your first adoption event. Oh my god, baby's first adoption batch. So, yeah, my beautiful dark twisted fantasy. Ugh. So yeah, so just like real life, when you're first starting out, because you are so new, you're not really known, you don't really have any social credit, especially if you weren't a fucking premium member. Usually if you are a premium member on DeviantArt, you have a little bit more. I told you, it's real life social badges. We also talked about premium membership, because you could use premium, you could use points to buy premium membership, and for some fucking reason, that's like a fucking social badge, and they would show whether or not you were a member by putting a little star next to your name while you're browsing through the site. So yeah, so let's say you have no points, you have no premium membership, no kind of fucking Riz. You're just starting out and you want to make your own adoptables so you can get that premium membership, baby. We love premium membership. We love HTML customization. So you want to lowball. So we went over the exchange rate for DeviantArt points, 2 USD. So 1 USD equals 80 DeviantArt points. So typically, if you want to lowball, the value of the DeviantArt point, I feel, is a little bit lower than the dollar. It's not really that valuable, so you have a much better chance of success of selling if you start under $1, so 80 points. Typically, I would usually go, if they were really quick, fast, if I wanted to sell them real fast, I would do like 25 points, 25 or 30, or if I put a little bit more effort into them, maybe 50. 50 is like a really good median, but I really like underselling my shit because I just make it really fast. But yeah, usually you want to price depending on quality, labor, and demand. So 50 is a really good starting point. And there are 2 ways to hold an adoption. You can either flat price it or you can do an auction. People prefer doing auctions just because there is that chance of selling for a lot higher than you expect. But flat pricing is like the most like surefire way to make sure you get those adopts out. So this is like Steam Marketplace, but for artists, early introduction to market economics. Yeah, it's crazy. Freaking dying, I'm so tired. Oh, then freaking go to sleep. Thank you for the raid and thanks for stopping by, Isu. Have a nice little sleepy EP. And don't worry, I will take care of your humble followers. Good night. Bye-bye, Isu. Much love. So, yeah. With adoptions...
We eat them.
We eat them. We sure do. So let's say with this batch of adoptables, I did use a common base for all of them. It is a unique base, so it's not like it's a base that's floating around that's free to use. So do keep that in mind, but it is the same exact pose for all of the different ones, just to make labor a little easier for me. But the thing with this is that there are different outfits and different species, so it is a good quality. But with if you're a new adopt maker, there's little demand for you. So I lowballed to 30 DeviantArt points, and then also, just in case anybody wanted to, I had an option for $2 each. It's out there. The exchange rate, not really adding up, but yeah. I don't know why I did that. I priced it like that. But typically, I would give a discount for using DeviantArt points, just to incentivize people to give me points, because it was faster and it was easier. It's like a weird convenience discount, I guess. But yeah, I think I actually did end up selling all of these adopts. So Let's freaking go. I'm not able to fucking see though, because like this came from an adopt site account that I had deleted. And the thing with DeviantArt accounts that get deleted is after like a month, it'll just completely wipe like the entire account from ever existing. And it's so fucking annoying because I wanted to find all my archive shit. I don't know why I did that. Fuck. Anyways. So, what are the pros and cons of flat pricing versus auctions? So, pros of flat pricing. You get a stable price. Whoever is buying from you does not have to worry about that price changing, and therefore they're more likely, it's just a little bit more appealing. You don't have to fight somebody else to get an adopt that you want. It's a good way to gauge what design aspects are considered more desirable than others. Because otherwise, what happens, especially in those big batches, is not all of them are going to be sold. It's really nice when all of them are sold, but 9 times out of 10, they're not all of them are going to be sold. So you can tell kind of based off of which designs sell and how excited the person is to get that design. You can kind of base that and put that opinion into your next batch of adopts. With the flat pricing, most people don't mind you using a base for a flat price. Just because they kind of, I don't know what it is. I don't really know how to explain it, but just like if I saw somebody using a base for a batch of adopts, if I saw that they were flat priced, I'd be like, oh, word, cool. But if I saw like an auction for it, I'd be like, okay, well, there is a very good chance that somebody's gonna try and buy this for like I'm not gonna try and dump like $20 on like a base used adopt. But that's just me personally. I know there are some people out there that would do that, but unless it is a really cheap and like reasonably priced adopt, I'm not gonna fucking fight somebody else for it. Because you can make larger batches faster, and it's just easier to just scribble on design aspects that way. The cons of flat pricing, however, it's harder to sell at a high price, mostly because, I don't know. At least that's my experience. I always had a really hard time selling adopts at a higher price, like higher than 500 points. Because they're flat pricing. Most people want to go for the cheapest that they can get. Obviously, if you have a little bit more like social credit, then yeah, you can absolutely get away with like raising your prices a little bit more because the demand is there. But I never really had that kind of demand, so I never really saw that. But yeah, like I said before, not all will sell in a batch, so you'll often have to do discounts if you want to get rid of those designs. So what a lot of people would end up doing is they would put out their initial price, and then after a couple of days, if they see that there are a couple of designs that aren't selling, they would slash the price on them just to make sure that they get taken to a home. Hold on, I need to fucking blow my nose, so I'll be right back. Oh. Oh, good God. Okay, I'm back. I'm back. So now, we'll get into auction. So with the auction style, the pros to it is you have the potential to sell it at a really nice price. You'll be surprised by how much people are willing to spend on adopts, especially if you have a really good design. Just perishing in the background. No, I'm quite alright. I'm just yapping a lot today. But yeah, if you start low enough, sometimes these prices get fucking crazy. Like, in more modern times, I only do, like, auction-based adopts, because I still make adoptables. I had one of my designs. I had no fucking, like, I was like, there's no fucking way. Because I started the auction at $5, I think. It ended up selling for, like, $155. I was like, oh! Let's go! What the hell is there to even be allergic to in Arizona? Hey, pollen, dust, sand, Dirt? Do you want me to keep going? Look up a nice little tree called fuck, what is it called? Something verde. Palo Verde? Go ahead and look up what a Palo Verde looks like for me. In fact, I'll do it for you. Palo Verde. So this is what they look like in the springtime. Can you tell me the problem with that picture with somebody with allergies? You see an issue with that? Because I sure do. Because I know what happens to my sinus when I walk by one of these fuck-ass trees. I hate it. They make me crazy. But anyways, auctions, yeah. You get to have more, these 2 points kind of go into each other, but you have more fun to flex your designing muscles because there's more incentive for a more detailed design. And you also have to, like, there's no pressure to do like a whole batch of it, you know, because like with flat price, you know that they're probably going to sell. So if you make multiples of them for a single post and then they'll all just sell out. With an auction, you really just need to do one, and then you will get this. Sometimes if it's a really good one, you'll get the same payout from one design than you would from a whole batch. But it almost always sells if the starting bid is low enough, especially if you're like starting at like $1 or like 80 points. Like, somebody is more than willing to buy that for 80 points just real quick. Or you can even start even lower, and then people will go crazy with the bidding wars. It's kind of insane. Like, you could start at, I've seen designs that start at 1 point go all the way up into the thousands. It's kind of crazy. But either way, if you start at 1 point and nobody wants to contest that, it's still going to sell. It's still going to go to somebody. Obviously, that's not like ideal for you, but either way, it's still going to sell. So you're still going to have some profile with other people in the Adopt community. So there you go. But yeah, cons. Unstable pricing. Like I said, you may end up with less money than the work that you put in for that Adopt. That's just kind of the name of the game. It takes longer to get your payout because of bidding time. Usually you do want to give people the chance to do their bidding wars. So usually when you would post an auction, you'd be like, the auction ends at this time, and after that, the last bid is the winner. And it's only really profitable if you already have a good reputation. Like I said, typically with auctions, the way that, I don't know if you guys understand how auctions work, but usually with an auction, you want to start at as low price as you can, and then it's up to the consumer to up that price to give it value. So, pros and cons, they both are pretty nice in their own aspects. There are a couple of risks that you have with that. What the fuck is an auction? Crazy Grolix. I don't know, some people don't understand how fucking auctions work. But anyways, so what determines a quality cost? So, it's very broad and kind of opinion based with what a quality of adoptables, so it kind of varies, but at least like bottom line, the best way to explain it is like how neat the presentation is or the skill level. So this is kind of something that it's up to you what you think is good quality, but typically what people are looking for in good quality is a nice clean drawing, and some just like some evidence that there was effort put into the design. So I kind of have an example here. So quick question to the audience. So both of these designs have the same concept, use the same colors. They took about the same amount of time to make. They use the same base, so they're base designs. But which one would you rather pay 50 points for? Like, if you wanted to buy it, like which one would you much rather give money to? The left? Well, I think that's just your fucking opinion. Far right. Oh yeah, and this base is by Soul Chameleon. By the way, I just looked it up. Thanks, Soul Chameleon, for your free to use base. The one on the far right at the bottom. That's me. But yeah, if you guys are willing to give like less than $1 to this design, good on you. You're supporting a growing artist. But most of the time people will go for the nicer looking one just because it's a little cleaner looking. Especially if it's in a lineup of different ones, because this one, holy shit, you can just make a bunch of these with different colors. Like I have seen adopt sheets like this where it's just like this, and then where the fuck? Recolor. And they'll like do that, and it's just they're trying to sell that as a different character. But yeah, that's quality cost, so that's how much effort you yourself have deemed that it's... Oh yeah, what if it were purple? Yeah, how much effort that you've deemed you put into that. Next, what determines labor cost? Kind of goes hand in hand with quality, but I like to think of it as its own separate category. Obviously, the more time you spend on a single design, the higher the quality. However, there are people who are really good at pumping adopts out like fucking crazy, and like making really nice designs that people really want. Faster artists are more comfortable selling at lower prices since their time investment wasn't as bad. Generally, the more time you spend on a design, the more profit you'd like to get out of it. So, with this, I'm using Wolf as an example. Wolf was, at least in my circle, Wolf's designs were really desirable because of their aesthetic. They were really fast at the rate at which they dropped these adopt batches at. I think this one was an auction actually, and I AB'd it because it was so low, and I was like, fuck it. AB, by the way, so sorry. some terminology in regards to like auctions. So you'll hear me say AB, SB, and MI. So SB stands for starting bid. That's the starting bid that you want to start at. MI is going to be minimum increase. So you just don't have a whole fucking thread of people in a bidding war only going up by one fucking point. Like, that just ensures kind of quality control in a bidding fight. And then AB is auto buy. And that is a cost if somebody chooses to include it. You can just pay that. It's usually a higher cost, but you can just go ahead and put AB, and it'll automatically, if you're willing to pay that flat price, then they would just go straight to you. Usually ABs are going to be like really like crazy expensive prices that you don't expect people to want to put into that. So say like, I believe the starting bids for these guys were 2 points each with like a 2-point minimum increase, something like that. And then like the AB was 500 points. 500 points to me, that pocket cash to me, baby. That's pocket money. That's pocket money. I was swimming in it, dude. So I was like, yeah, I'm willing to shell out 500 points for that. Give him to me. So now that's my boy Theo. But yeah, Wolf was crazy, and they would sell out at a reasonable price. But yeah, this guy was only 500 points. With their demand, I feel like they could have like easily bumped up their prices, but they went crazy with it. They sure went crazy with it, and I love this is another thing. This is me personally. I don't really like trading or like selling my adopts. All of my adopts that I've had, they have never been traded or sold. There's only one adopt or not even adopt. Well, he was an adopt. There's only one adopt that I have that could technically be count as trading, that I traded, but it was a character that was gifted to me by my friend, that he didn't want anymore. But anybody else, I don't like trade or anything. They all are way too sentimental to me. Like, I do this for the fun of it. But anyways, yeah, that's my boy Theo. He's also a really like major character in my original story. So next, what determines cost, or what determines demand cost? Demand is going to be your audience driven value. So this is the customer's always right. So if somebody's willing to give you, especially if you're doing like, you can kind of gauge this by doing auctions. If you're doing auctions and you're very like consistently getting selling adopts for like, say like, if you're consistently selling them out for like 1,000 points, then that means you should probably selling for at least a minimum 800, something like that. Like try and match that, because there will be a demand for it. Everybody's gonna want that specific fucking adopt. So, or like your designs, obviously, then why wouldn't you want to sell them more at a higher price? And then now you have to do less labor in order to meet that demand. But obviously this is like, it's completely optional. You don't always have to bump up your prices if you don't want to. At its core, it's a fun hobby. This is a hobby. It's not a fucking like life or death situation. It's supposed to be fun. So there's nothing wrong with keeping your prices low if you don't want to bump them up. So for example, this is an adopt that I made in 2015. It sold for 50 points. And then this is an adopt that I made a year later that sold for 500. So the more you get recognized, the more like people want your designs, the better. Obviously you can bump that up if you need to, because I think at this point I was consistently selling adopts for over 100 points. So I was like, fuck it, I'll just sell it for over 100 if I can, especially if there's more design put or more detail and thought put into it. In this design, especially compared to this one. This one I know I was just kind of like, yeah, put it out there. So yeah. Next. Sometimes you just get lucky. So let's talk about this design right here. This was completely real currency only. So this was done USD. Sometimes you just get lucky. Sometimes your adopts hit a certain audience. And by certain audience, I mean rich people, literal, actual rich people, because they get into this shit too. You'll get people that are willing to spend $5,000 fucking dollars on your adopt. I wish, man. That's more money I've seen than I have in my bank account. But yeah, this is by Manaberry. This is their adopt that sold for 5K. Oh, and you know what? It is a really nice, high quality adopt, so I don't really blame them. But god fucking damn, look at this. This is worth base $5,000. And I know that their adopts were really like desirable too, because the starting bid was, the SB was like $250. It's crazy. And there were a lot of instances of this that happened where people were just willing to spend insane amounts of money on these adopts. And you know what? Hell yeah. So now there's fucking value on that motherfucker. Crazy. So how do you get your foot in the door? How do you get known? How do you get out there? So back then, the success of your adopts really relies heavily on them reaching an audience and then accumulating their value through demand. The best way to get it visible on DeviantArt would be adding them to group galleries. And I did talk about groups a little earlier on the stream, but groups are basically like little sub-communities on DeviantArt. They would have their own page. You could submit submissions onto them, and they would do this really cool thing where they would do push notifications of new new posts or new deviations, that's what they were called, of any new deviations that were added to their galleries. You could also like subscribe to specific galleries, because sometimes if you had a really good group, they would organize all their folders, and you would have to go in there and make sure your adopts get filed into the right folder. So there'd be like subcategories like cute adopts, chibi adopts, base used, unique adopts, shit like that. Cats, dogs, ponies, fucking whatever. But yeah, there are pretty much online clubs that people were interested in, where people were interested in the same thing, would congregate, submit content that was related in some way, and obviously adopts. Yeah. It was the best way to stay up to date on open adopt batches and what was trendy, and mostly send notifications to group members on new additions to the galleries. Gore, apparently. Yeah, gore. I'll show you guys. But yeah, some were just generally for adopts, and others would have themes to help better organize aesthetics and types. So let's say like Nebula's adopt shop, I believe that had like a lot of space and like furry designs. Animal adopts, mostly animal adopts. There were some where it was just like only furries, only human adopts, shit like that. And then how to get your foot in the door continued. I sip water. So as a hobby, it naturally has a whole community around it. As I have been reiterating so many fucking times this stream, that is the difference between adopts and NFTs, is that there's actual thriving community of people that are very interested in this and have poured a lot of time and effort into it. I just drank water, god damn it. Getting to know others is another great way to get your name out there. Just, don't be fucking cringe about it, if you know what I mean. So basically, a lot of it is give and take. If you are selling a lot of adoptables, make sure you pay it forward. Go out, find some adoptables that you like. Go ahead and pay that artist, and you will make new connections. And then fucking nerd out about it, dude. Be like, oh my god, I really like your aesthetic with this one. I really like how this common theme that you have with your adopts, and they'll give it back. It's great. And then that can go into design trades. So you can even completely free go up to your friend and be like, hey, if you design something for me, you want me to design something for you? And you would have trades for that. Let me go back here. This was a custom trade. I made this character for another creator on, oh my god, sorry. For another creator on Deviant Art. We traded, characters. I made his little, he wanted I believe he wanted a Rottweiler specifically. So I was like, oh, Rootweiler, because they wanted a Rottweiler and they wanted it to be plant themed. And I was like, holy shit, the pun is right there. And then let me grab the character that they gave to me in return. Yeah, hello, Gorguts. And then this is the design that they traded back to me. I just told them that I really like warm colors and canines, and this is what I got back, and I couldn't be more happier with him. I love him so much. I never use him, but I love him. I think he's really cute. And I think that's a pretty fair trade, if you ask me. So let's go back. So that's where you can get design trades, and that even will expose you to somebody else's audience, just because they are making a design that was tailored for you. So obviously it'll kind of 9 times out of 10 kind of get them out of their comfort zone. So with this, like I said before, I have a lot of designs from my friend John. He's no longer on the internet. So I cannot ever fathom selling any of these. Cause me and him were pretty tight, I think. Where we'd hang out a lot. But these are, you just generally be nice. And also make art of your adopts. Because that's another fucking thing that really separates NFTs from adopts. The creators love to see what people do with their characters. Like I said, it's really like, so that's what you meant with sentimentality? Yeah. I can't get rid of any of these fucking adopts, man. This is from my friend that fucking disappeared. And I've never heard from. But another thing is, like, people like to see what people do with their designs. Like I said earlier, it's a lot like watching your kid go to college, I guess. Like, watching your kid grow up. Because when I, like, was tracking down some of my adopts, and I was like, oh, let's see what they're doing now, or if they're still being used. When I saw, like, 2 of my adopts still being used to this day, I was going bananas. I was like, that's fucking crazy. That is a character that I designed, and they have their own little life. Oh. With NFTs, you don't fucking care. That's a fucking dress up randomizer. And the person who made those just want to push that shit onto you with nothing. There's no sense of community, nothing. So making art of adopts is always like a really great thing. Or just being used at all, and just be nice. That's how you make friends. That's how you get your foot in the door. That's how you get known. Like I said, a lot of the adopts that I got were from my friends supporting me, and in turn they would always buy my adopts, and it was great. But yeah, these are a couple of adopts that I got from my friend John. I have more. Trust and believe, I have more. This is why don't I have the fucking original art of it? Well, how do you say that? We tooken? Thank you for following on Twitch. Hello. I need to find the original art of that. That's actually, like, gonna make me go fucking insane if I can't find it. Hold. Because I loved the original art. I'm gonna be so... Say wit or we do? Oh, okay, hi! We're talking about adopts. This is another... this is a custom of their... of his original species that he gave me. And it fucking is great. I love it so much. The original species were called Jello Bubs. And I love him. But I need to find the original art of it. Because if it's lost forever, I think I'm actually, like, in-game gonna kill myself. Because I loved his art style and, like, all of his designs, so that's why I have all of them. But yeah, these are all by the same artist. This is by my friend John. And I still love them very dearly. In-game. That's right. In-game. This motherfucker and this motherfucker I still use a lot. This motherfucker I used in I animated into a music video I made on my old channel. This one I think I used for, like, an OC tournament on DeviantArt. And then this one is just, like, a major character in one of my stories. I love them. I love them all to death. So then we get to alternative payments and bartering. These were more community fun focused. So say, like, we have DTAs or draw to adopts, where they were essentially mini contests. So if you're interested in a character design, you only had to draw the character and post it, and then whoever's drawing the original poster liked the most won and got to keep the character and whatever art anyone else drew them. It was a really nice way to get to know other people, because you essentially make a micro community of all these people that drew this one character, and now they can be like, oh my god, I really like your art, you know, blah 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 blah. Like, it's great. I did one of these. I only had one submission, unfortunately, but I know it was a pretty, like, it was a big thing to do back then. And then you also have OTAs, or offer to adopt. This is just bargaining for designs. You can offer art, points, real money, or characters, or anything else you had of value. This is a character, her name is Pearl, that I got from somebody named Natsu Fire Dragon. I saw her and I was like, I need her. She's so pretty. I love her. I love the seaweed on the tail. I bought her with 200 points, and then I also did 2 drawings for Natsu to get them. And now I have her, and I love her, and she's beautiful. Alright, it's time to get fucking annoying. It's time to get fucking annoying. Okay, as we leave off on offer adopts, let's get into the fucking adopt stock market. This is the part where it does kind of get NFT-ish. This is where people will buy and trade adoptable designs specifically for profit, or just for like the love of the game of trading. Like, people will fucking sit there and trade this shit like it's Pokemon cards. It really is trading card games. So, and when you think about it, it's a little goofy, but it's a really real. This is still alive. People still do this shit. It's an alive, very volatile stock market surrounding adopts. So it's especially bad when you've sunk real money into it, but you can very much invest and sell adoptables. It depends on who you get your characters from. Usually, and this is another thing where it's a little, you kind of differentiate a little bit more from NFTs, is artists, depending on who you buy it from, they have really strict rules on use of their adopts. And this kind of goes back into the closed species rant I was on earlier. So some people really like their adopts, and they still want to have some say in how you use the character designs, even though you did purchase it. As if you purchased it, they would usually say, like, if you purchase an adopt for me, you agree to these terms. Typically, like, the universal rule was, if you buy an adopt, you can't resell it for, like, at the same price or higher, at a higher cost than what you originally bought it for. Because then it's just like, what the fuck, man? Unless you had artwork that added to its value. Because a lot of people, what they would do, they buy these adopts, so they have characters to commission artists for art for. There you go. So let's take my boy Sirloin. We saw him earlier with the adopts that I got from my friend John. Hold. To me, he's priceless. He was designed by my friend, so that has disappeared from the internet, and he plays a really big role in my original stories. So I would never ever put a price on him. But if I were a stock gooner, if I went to get water, what the heck have I been thrust into? We're discussing the stock and trade market of adoptables. So let's break it down, shall we? If I were a stock gooner and I didn't really care about him, here's how I would price him. So I initially bought Sirloin for 400 points. So that would be 5 USD. If we were to sell him for less than that, obviously I would have to, usually it's good practice if you plan on reselling or giving away a design to contact the original designer to let them know of that change, because usually designers like to keep track of all of their designs. Like I said, I like to keep an eye out on my designs and see where they go and like what lives they end up having. But usually it's good practice to contact the original designer, and if you plan on reselling them, usually either you'll get one of 2 responses. The designer will let you know what price they are comfortable with you reselling their design for, at least base price, or they'll just ask for the design back. Especially if it's one that they're really attached to, because they get attached to their own designs too. Trust and believe. I do the same. But yeah, they'll either ask for it back or they'll let you know what they're comfortable with you reselling for. And then with the collective price of all the art that he has of him, it's about $10. So baseline, it's about $13, and that's specifically his monetary value. Now, if you add on the social value to him, like I guess like his rarity and shit like that. So because the original designer is no longer on the web, it adds some rarity to his design. Just because there are no new designs coming from that specific creator. All the designs that are on the internet, that is it. There's not going to be any more unless he comes back. So that does add some rarity to him. Especially on top of that, there was a really good market for his designs. Like his designs were there was a high demand for them. Almost all of his batches, of his adopt batches, would always like get sold out real fast too. If you weren't quick with it, you would miss out on a fucking character. Like there's this one character that I really wanted that I fucking stolen from me. Stolen. I think that's actually how I ended up with Sirloin. Hold on. Because Wolf, the one that we were talking about earlier, got one of the goddamn designs that I wanted. Yeah! From the same batch. So hold on, let me see if I can find it. Where is it? Shit, if I can find it. Oh, I can't remember, but it was like... Oh, no, wait. Wait, hold on, I might have it backwards, because I remember I was commissioned to fucking draw her, and I was like, God damn it. I got pissed off. I was like, this is the design that I wanted. Where is it? Here it is. Where is this from? 2015? Yeah, it was Wolf that got it. Oh, I'm sorry. Did Wolf also buy fucking Do? No. Yes? No. Yes? No. Sorry, I'm like I got a little bit sidetracked with another character I remember. Why is he such a coy little shit? Cause he fucking sucks. He's a big meanie. I made him a big meanie. I remember I was telling John, I was like, oh yeah, I made him a fucking asshole, and he was like, why would you do that? He got pissed off. But like ironically, in a silly funny kind of way. Where is this goddamn character? Here it is. Here she is. I wanted her. Grr, rah. This is the character that was in the same exact batch that I wanted at first, but it was taken away from me. Ugh, shit. Wolf bought her before me. Damn it. So then I ended up going with Sirloin, and honestly, kind of the best thing that's ever happened to me. I love Sirloin. He's a very important character to me. Mouth broom, yeah. It was awesome. Yeah, he's great. I love all of these designs so much. Also, value can always fluctuate, and they're always determined by the other party, and it is always fucking funny. It really is like real life stock trading. So like imagine like the stock market, right? There's a controversy with a specific company. I can't think of one right now. Tesla? I don't know. Say like there's a controversy with Tesla. Obviously the stock prices for it is going to go down. Same shit happens with adoptables. So their value can fluctuate depending on the original creators. Especially if you can like point at an adopt and be like, so and so made that, because you can do that, especially when it comes to Lupus Vulpes. Lupus Vulpes was an adopt maker back in the day who had really like distinct design quirks with all of their adopts. So this is a really cool case study of this phenomena. their adopts were so popular that there's an entire fucking registry for them. So one day, or whatever the fuck happened, they had a whole fucking controversy about being a little homophobic, and the value of these designs were affected immediately. There were people that wanted to get rid of the fucking designs, and they would like plunge the price of them just to get rid of them. And some people were just like hoarding them, and they were like, yeah, I'll take this fucking design that's worth $60 for $2. Yeah, I'll take it. And with time, I'm sure they're gonna the value of them is gonna go up. How are you gonna draw dogs like that and be homophobic? It's so funny. It's like a classic, like, you know, the cupcake situation. I think that's what it was. There was somebody who commissioned them to draw their character with a bisexuality flag, and Lupus was like, I don't believe in bisexuality, so I don't really feel comfortable drawing that. And they're like, but I want you to draw this. And they're like, I can draw it, just not with the bisexuality flag. So it was a whole fucking thing. It was a whole thing. But yeah, the stock market is real. I feel like that's actually strangely common. Yeah. Because they're religious. That's their whole fucking thing. So another trading tactic is because there are artists that have strict non-monetary reselling rules, because there are some artists that are like that, where they'll be like, I don't want you to sell my fucking my designs at all for money. So some people have adapted, and they will buy cheap adopts and then use it as trading fodder, because that's not monetary value. It's a pretty limp justification. Yeah. I have my own opinions on it, but I don't really want to talk about it because that's not the topic of this stream. But yeah, they'll use that shit as trading fodder, and I know because I've sold adopts that have been used as trading fodder. But yeah, let's say someone is giving up one of their characters and is taking offers on them, going back to offer to adopt. You can offer up some of the designs that you already own to get another adopt that you think is worth more than the ones that you already have. So yeah, someone will say that they really want them and will offer up one or more of their characters as trade. It's literally just trading cards. So here I made a stupid little example. Hey, I see you don't want your water dog anymore. Can I give you a Cinedog and a Snat in exchange? I'll take the Cinedog, but could I get your yellow sparkle dog instead of the Snat? Snat is like snail cats. I think that was another original species that my friend made. I wanted to get into it, but it was a little too expensive for me. But yeah, it's crazy. It's literally just trading cards. But anyways, let's get back to grounded in reality here. Are adoptables still a thing? Yes, they are. They are still a fucking thing. There's still a thriving market for it. It's not the same like vibes as it was back in the 2010s, but it's still there. Obviously there are some people nowadays that like see that it's purely just like profit for them, but the core community still thrives on places like Toy House, and then also like Yitch Commishes. Kind of. I feel like Yitch Commishes, that's mostly just like people that are in it for the profit. But yeah, the closest you'll get to classic era like DA adopt scene is going to be on Toy House, which unfortunately is really exclusive due to it being invite only, and I doubt that it's ever gonna be like open to the public. I feel like it's only ever gonna, because it's in beta, but it's also been in beta for the last decade. This is unrelated to stream, and I will probably return to lurking immediately, but I've come to the conclusion that dating is just hyper advanced gambling. Let's go gambling. That's what it is. Yeah. But yeah, it's sad. I want to be on Toy House so much, but you need a fucking invite code for that, and those are pretty hard to come by. You need to know a guy, and I don't know nobody. Yeah, it's really exclusive. I don't think it's ever gonna come out of invite only, but I think a lot of the core audience has grown out of it. A lot of the core audience back then were just teenagers and kids, so now they're kind of off being adults. So yeah, it is what it is. but it's still fun to reminisce. Do I still make adoptables? Yes, I do. I do it for the love of the game. I always have, and I always will. I always lowballed my adopt prices because I just want them to sell. I really like designing characters for other people, and I really like to see what happens with them. I'm just chill like that. You know how it is. But yeah, that's my presentation. What do you guys think? Have I changed minds about adopts, or have I made it? Have I solidified your prior opinions on them that they don't really, to their core, are not really worth much? But yeah, that's my freaking TED Talk. I hope you enjoyed it. I didn't have an opinion on the issue prior to your presentation, so you haven't changed my mind. But very interesting. It's really cool. It's cuter. Yeah, it's really cute when you like get down to it. You're selling in like a character, somebody's, and like sometimes like that character gets crazy. Like I didn't really talk about it. I thought I made a slide about it, but I'll talk about it when we I'll go through my stash with you guys, don't you worry. Let's go through my stash, shall we? And I'll show you all of my adoptables as is. Everything still is as I left it, except, you know, now stash is like layout is shit now. Like most things from DeviantArt nowadays. So let me show you my all of my characters that I've adopted over the years. Let me see here. Okay, so this is my stash. This is what most people would kept their characters. I like haven't touched this in forever. I'll still sometimes go back here just to like reminisce and look through all my characters. But you can't really see it, but I have everything organized by my most used to my least used. So my mains, these are all my characters that I use to represent myself, and or just like I love them so much. So you guys are familiar with Dogmeat. This is all the old art of Dogmeat when I was still a furry. So this is a nice little doodle I made of her. I think I got this from an art trade, I'm pretty sure, back when you were based. This is by one of my friends that I made from Flipnote Hatena, if anybody remembers that. My ex drew this. There's a couple in here that's like my ex made. My ex drew that. My ex drew that. Oh shit. Oh shit. My ex drew that. No, my ex didn't draw that. That was commissioned. I commissioned that. Yeah. That was a commission of me and my ex. That was a commission of me and my ex by one of my friends. Oh, that's just by one of my friends. That's me and redacted friend, Mumpky Jones friend. That was a part of an art trade. This is a cool. I still really like this. I wish I could get this redone with my current design. I really like this pixel. This is a pixel made by John that I had on my page for the longest fucking time because I think it's so epic. I still fuck with this art style. I don't care what anybody thinks. But yeah, small cube enjoyer. I have a bunch of these. This is an outfit that I want to add to my repertoire. This is based off of Gokuto Jihen. I used to draw my character in that, or Dogmeat in that a lot. I have a lot of art of Dogmeat in this area. But yeah. That's dog meat. That's all dog meat. Go back. Go back to my mains. Then we have Halifax. This is one of those characters that was by that was designed by John. This is his main ref. And then I also have a little human design for him. Wow, he's so cute. I love him. He's just a little guy. He likes boats. That's his whole thing. And I have a bunch of pixel art of him. This one I really like. This one I traded. I'm pretty sure this was a trade. No, I commissioned this because I was like, holy shit, the price is crazy. I commissioned this. I was really cute. This is Eddie. This is all the art that I have of Eddie. Egg boy, egg boy, egg boy, egg boy, egg boy. That's his original art. By Zach, my main man. This is a design that I made myself. Clearly you can tell because it's not really that great. Yeah, this is one of my original designs that I just kept. This is Sirloin's repertoire. You guys already kind of saw it. This is his ref sheet. Back of his short says cakes. That's no longer canon. He doesn't say that anymore. But yeah, that's his little ref sheet that I made for him. Now we get into the nitty and gritty, which is my secondary characters. So a lot of these were just characters that I got. Sometimes I use them, sometimes I didn't. This is a design that I got from Wolf that I really, really like. This is a flat-priced design too, which I thought was fucking crazy because I really like this one. It's really cute. Ooh, so there's a lot of... Oh, there's Devi. I don't know if, like... Should I censor it? You can't really see it too well here. Maybe I should. Hold on. I'll use Virgil since I have him. So hold on. Oh, that's it. Okay, it's just the picture. I thought I had more art of her. It's not really that bad. At least I don't think. Not worse than something you'd see in Doom. But yeah, this is Devi. This is another character that I bought off of my friend John. I think she's really cute. I really liked her. I still really like her. She's awesome. What else do we have here? This is the first adopt that I bought with real currency, which I don't regret. I love her. She's so cute and I'm gonna keep her forever. She was $15. She's a little cotton candy sheep. How cute is that? There's Roddy. Okay, this design kind of got me in trouble a little bit. So this is Roman. Let me show you what he looks like nowadays. He still kind of looks the same. I need to pull up Art Fight. So as you can see, I did not make this reference. My friend John did. And the reason for that is... this is what he looks like now. Still kind of the same vibe. Just drawn a little differently. I even gave him a little cross. He still retains a lot of his original design elements, even like personality-wise. So the reason why I have this up here for Roman is I didn't originally own him at first. I didn't purchase him. My friend John did. He was the original owner for Roman for a really long time. By a really long time, I think for like 2 years, I think, which is a good amount of time. And he was he was like a fan favorite. Like, I feel like if you were in the circle of artists I was in, you would have seen this motherfucker one way or another, because there was a lot of commissioned art of him. Some I can't find anymore, which kind of makes me upset because he had a lot of art. I'll have to look it up. But with him, I got into a little bit of trouble, not like directly, like I wasn't confronted. I was vagued about. We were vagued about. This was a collective thing that happened. So I was in a call with John, and he was like, "Hey, do you want Roman?" And I was like, why? Because we were sitting there and talking about Roman, and I was like, dude, I love Roman. He's so awesome, because I was drawing him. And he was like, yeah, you want him? I don't want him anymore. I'm gonna start like designing my own characters. And I was like, well, shit, man. If you put it like that, sure, I'll take him off your hands. Because I loved him. I've always loved him. I loved his aesthetic. That's why, like, he's the reason why I bought Eddie, is because I wanted to have a unicorn dog with my friend. So now I have both of them, and they're best friends. But literally the day after I posted a drawing of Roman, and in the description it was like, I own Roman now. I love him. And then I added my friend. I added John, and I was like, can you please bless me up? And the day after I posted that drawing saying that I owned him now, the original creator posted a journal that said, like, didn't specify anybody, didn't call anybody out specifically, but was just like, hey, if you don't want any of my designs anymore, please just give them back to me. I would much rather you don't give them away. And I was like, oh shit. Shit. So I always kind of like felt a little guilty for having him, but he's one of my favorite designs like ever, even before I owned him. And now that I have him, I love him so much. He's great. And then who else do we have here? We'll get into like the oh, well, shit. I guess there is no point in censoring her, huh? Manu, hello! We're going through all my old characters. We'll get into I do have some original species. These are all my characters that I didn't really use too much. You had 2 sangrias and a pizza? That sounds like a damn good Saturday evening. Honestly feeling it. Let's fucking go. So yeah, I did have some original species. Oh shit, I had a snap make your own. I still never made one. Maybe I'll make one of these days. But yeah, my friend had snats. They were literally just snail cats. I wonder if there's still some designs around. And then I have this Klaxon make your own ticket that I never cashed in. It was for an offer to adopt. So water dogs. I did own a water dog. I wanted to have multiple, but I owned only one. Water dogs are basically a closed species where it's dogs that have water as part of their body. This is another character that I was given to from my friend. Oh man, he's been traded around quite a bit actually. But this was given to me by my friend. I think John gave him to me, so I have quite a bit of art of him, but I never really used him too much. But it is really cool to say that I own a water dog. I never used him for anything. And then these are my Jello Bubs. This is another one of John's original species that he had. This is a custom that he made me. I literally just sent him a mood board and he gave me this design, and it was I was over the moon. I love him so much. This is a Tenome. And he's got a little lantern. So Jello Bubs are like weird cat dog things, and they have like Jello as tails, and they can have different shapes and stuff. And then I believe the tail shape, the amount of horns and eyes will like vary depending on their rarity. So this was like a rare Jello Bub that I got from him. love the design so much. And then this is one that I adopted as is. His name's Kidney Stone. And I love him. And he's beautiful. But yeah, that's pretty much it, really, of like the standouts in my character folder here. I don't really trade and buy adopts too much anymore. Maybe one of these days I will. But yeah, I think, yeah, that's about it. Unless there's any questions for me. Hold on, let me take us back over to the other screen. But yeah, that's a bit about it. Did you guys learn anything new? I hope you enjoyed my my little TED talk there. It was very nice to get to talk about adoptables again and that kind of like educational way. Because I know it's a very polarizing thing, adoptable designs are. But I always had fun with them when I was a kid. And I know there are people that are out there that still have a lot of fun being in the community. Came at the tail end of this, but honestly, adoptables were such a funny thing to me when I was on DA. I know, it was to me too. I like when I first started getting into it, I was like, why would I ever like pay money for a design? But the more I got into it, I mean, some people would say that is what's it called? That's like brainwashing, but it was fun. It was really fun. I adopted a few OCs that way, but I never got into closed species. Good. I never really totally got into closed species. But I the ones that I had, it was mostly my friends giving me giving me closed species, and I loved them. I loved all of my characters, and I still do love them. That's why I hoard them to this day. But yeah, I think my throat is parched, and I think I need to give it a break. So that's gonna have to be it for me today. But thank you guys so much for sitting down, hanging out with me. Thank you so much for Isu. Let me get a shout out for Isu. Isurez. Hold on. Shout out Isurez. Thank you so much to Isu for the raid. Crazy, very, very crazy. Quite the lecture you delivered. It was all mostly from my point of view, not like a whole lot of hard facts and evidence, just kind of from my experience as somebody who was in that community back then. But yeah, it was really fun to get to reminisce with you guys and teach you guys all about it. Let's find somebody for you guys to raid into, shall we? Let's see. Who's streaming right now? Right now. Oh my god. I'm gonna send you guys over to Gunk Pup. Gunk is like the perfect person for you guys to raid into. I'll hang out a little bit on stream to say hello. Let's get a raid message in, shall we? Let's do Can we do Sparkle Dog raid? I think Sparkle Dog raid would be perfect. Sparkle Dog raid. Just like that, you guys. Let me see. I don't know if Gunk streams on YouTube. I don't even know if we'll do a raid on YouTube. I don't think we have enough people for it. Let me see. Gunk Pup. No, they don't. Okay. So if you guys want to join in, just hop over to Twitch and we'll all raid together. But right now, Gunk Pup is playing. What are you playing? What are you up to? Unpacking. So let me send you guys over to Gunk Pup. We're gonna do Sparkle Dog raid, and I will see you guys next week. Okay? Thanks for hanging out with me today. I'll see you guys later. Bye bye. Bye.